Hey, it's your Hash Master General. I have a topic of discussion today. It's been a while. I haven't said anything lately, put anything out there. Um, but I'm seeing some disturbing trends that I just can't let go. Um, I live in the Bay Area, California, and I am watching our homeless population rise like no like nothing I've ever seen before. There are people out there struggling to make it and dying. They're literally dying. Um, what are we gonna do, Mr. Newsom? Gavin? What are we gonna do about this? What are we gonna do about all the tent cities? Huh? California, if I recall, was one of the first states to legalize marijuana for medical use. Um, it became a big business and made a lot of revenue for California, if I believe correctly. Um, Certainly, everybody has jumped into the business. There's a pot shop on almost every corner now, like a liquor store. Um, I believe that pot is far more safer. Cannabis, hemp, whatever you want to call it, is far more safer than alcohol. Far safer than alcohol. Never heard of anybody being poisoned from marijuana, but I've heard of people having alcohol poison quite a bit. In fact, I've seen it with my own eyes quite a bit. Experienced it in my youth. So, what are we going to do about this opium crisis that is such a big deal? Are we going to mainstream it, medicalize it? Uh, how are we going to do this? Let's think of some solutions. Methadone is one solution, but for people who can't pay for methadone or are homeless and live on the drug spot, what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to fight the temptation to use when it's all around them? And let's look at the real reason why these people are using. It's not because they're hooked. That's not the only reason they're using. They're using because they're trying to find some comfort in a very uncomfortable situation, in a very uncomfortable world. Do you think these people, who I have been one of, and I know I didn't like it, do you think they like to panhandle? Do you think they like standing in 90-degree weather, 104-degree weather, and panhandling your change? You know, they don't. It's their only means of support. And yes, I know there are people that say we'll work for food, and when you try to offer them a job, they say no. Well, that's a scammer. You did great job. You pulled somebody's cap and found out they were selling wolf tickets. And so good for you. But there are far many other people out there who would work for money. And there are far many Americans who are hurting right now and could use some help. So maybe we can pull together just a little bit tighter. Get the message out to the politics in California that it's not about your haircut or your suit or what kind of car you drive or if you're chauffeured, or it's about the people that you promised to help, to protect. That's why you were put into office, was to help people, not help yourself. And I see a lot of that going on in California. And it's just not right. Yeah, I'm a smoker. Smoking tax passed in California, and now cigarettes are $8 and up. What happened to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Why do we keep taxing cigarettes, but putting people behind counters who can't speak English and don't even ask for ID? What's with that? I don't get that. You charge the people who can actually buy cigarettes more money that we don't have, and kids got cigarettes to burn. You know, they're throwing out whole cigarettes. I can't believe it. And I ask them, where did you get those cigarettes? Oh, I bought them at the liquor store. There's no carding going on. That's the real problem. Parents need to talk to their kids about smoking and what they're getting into. And people who work at these cigarette stores and liquor stores need to be monitored a little bit better for their illegal acts of selling alcohol and tobacco to minors. I see it happen every Saturday and Friday and Saturday night in my neighborhood at the local liquor stores. I'm watching 16-year-old kids packing brand new packs of cigarettes on their wrists and tucking 40s in their jackets. That's 40 ounces of beer. And buying big bottles of Hennessy. These store owners, they don't care about our laws, some of them. They just want the money. And then the government wants the money from us too, and taxes. So, but nothing is happening. Nobody is cigarette smoking isn't down. In fact, I'm sure it's probably up. The numbers are wrong. I'm sure if the numbers say that smoking has gone down since the tax, it's probably because people can't afford them anymore. not kids, because they can afford them just fine, but normal adults can't afford them anymore. And I haven't seen one commercial about, one ad on TV about smoking being dangerous to your health in the recent months. I've maybe seen one or two. So what is this tax going for, really? I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. And if you don't get it, maybe we should all just write a letter to Mr. Newsom and tell him this is bull crap. And some things need to change. And we're the people who put him in power. We could take that power away. All it takes is a vote for the right candidate, and he can be gone. I can't believe that a coke-swilling, prostitute-loving prick like him got elected in the first place. Doesn't anybody remember the scandal that he went through, or does that just go out the window with a sly smile and $400 haircuts? He's not a good man, and he doesn't have our state's interests at heart. If he did, there wouldn't be so many homeless shelters closing. There wouldn't be so many people in tent cities. I know for a fact that that's catch and release in my neighborhood. If you get caught, if an illegal gets caught, half the time they don't even put the cuffs on them. They just let them go, even after a crime. This is truth. I've seen this with my own eyes. And when I asked the deputy why he was doing what he was doing, he told me to never mind. It was none of my business. Well, it is my business. It's everybody's business. This is illegal crap going on by the people who make the rules themselves, and it's not right. We need to collectively say something and get it out there. So any of my 9 subscribers who watch me, pass this along, because there's something wrong, man. There's really something wrong here. Really something wrong in California, and it needs to be fixed. And I think the first thing is getting rid of a self-serving son of a gun like Gavin Newsom. He is not a governor. He's not governor material. He never was. He ran on a platform of gay marriage. That was it. He promised to let gays get married, and they gave him the mayorship in San Francisco. That's all he ever did. And then he got caught with a bunch of coke and a bunch of prostitutes, and it was all over the news and in the newspapers and in the rags, but nobody seems to remember that. You guys would have been able to get married no matter what. Your LGBT community, I personally see no problem with you getting married and having your tax break. And quite frankly, I don't have any problem with you getting married under God of your understanding. If the God that you understand blesses your union, then fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's your life. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But don't put a fox in the hen house and expect that everything's going to go alright just because you got what you want. Because the fox tipped you off and said, hey, I'll bring you one of them chickens to eat if you let me in. No, it don't work that way. The guy's a crook, man. And the man that had his job before him, even bigger crook. Mr. Brown. Anyways, I'm going to stop my rant. It's awful. It's getting long. It's been 16 minutes of me ranting about this crap and our plight in California. Why don't you add to it? Just add to it. Add to it in the comments. What else you're upset about? Well, let's see if we can get something started here. Subscribe if you can. Hit the bell for notifications. I talk too much, so I don't expect many followers, but I hope that you watch this video and it wakes you up a little bit, or it puts a fire in your belly. With that, God bless you. I love you all, no matter what. Even if you hate me, that's an always. And you have yourself a very good day and a wonderful weekend.